Welcome back to yet another episode of Climbing the Ranks, and today our commander is Eriette of the Charmed Apple. Now this is a really good commander out of the brand new set, and its abilities are each creature that's enchanted by an aura you control can't attack you or planeswalkers you control. So it's essentially a pacifism if they control any of our auras that are attached to them. So we're going to run a bunch of annoying auras that are really easy to put out there, like Deadweight or anything like that. There's just a bunch of examples all around the deck, and you'll see if you watch the video. It's really fun. Demotion's one of them. It's just a really fun card. And then on top of that, at the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of auras you control. So we get essentially a veto for the amount of auras we get every end step on our turn, which is really nice. So we're going to be running a bunch of auras, a bunch of cards that synergize with auras, and everything else in between. So let's just get right onto the games. Game 1. Our hand is looking actually pretty good. We're going to keep it. We would like a swamp. He says hello. We're going to say hello back. But we do have the Cold Steel Heart. It'll be a little late. Oh, there's the swamp. So we don't really have to play the Cold Steel, but it's just nice to have out there anyways. And it looks like we'll want a black since we have an extra white. Going against Omnath, Locus of All. So it's all colors. You can get a lot of mana. That's kind of scary. We're going to play a swamp into our commander, then we're going to pass the turn because we do have the Bound in Gold in case he does get something ridiculous out there. However, we can't target anything on the Paradise Druid because it has hexproof. Realm Breaker, that's fine, I guess. We're going to do the Plains. We're going to go into Demonic Embrace. Boost the Eriette, give it flying with the Angelic Gift too. It's going to be huge. And it's a 5/5 now. We're going to get a draw card. We get a Denitha. That's also really nice. We're going to make him lose 5. We get to gain 2, make him lose 2 more at the end step with the Eriette. He does have 5 mana. He has 5 mana now. He had 4 mana. And let's see what he's going to play with his 4 mana that he can use. Unleash the Inferno kills our commander, which is a little annoying, but it is what it is. We're going to get... He gets to Unleash the Inferno. He gets to destroy our Cold Steel Heart as well. Wonderful. We're going to do the Godless Shrine. We can't get anything back, so we're going to make it enter tapped. We're going to do the Denitha here, and we're going to make all of our stuff cost a little less to cast. And let's see what he ends up doing. Slimefoot and Squee. That's a very good card, and I think we're going to have to Bound and Gold that because that's very scary. And we mill 3. He gets a Plains back. Ooh, Smothering Tide. That's not too bad, but it's not too great either. We're going to Bound and Gold the Slimefoot and Squee because that card is ridiculous. And then we're going to... We could Demonic Embrace and we could Lurrus as well, but it doesn't really matter. I think we'll Lurrus here because it does have lifelink and it's another body out there. We're not going to swing in because, well, we couldn't kill it, but it's not going to do us much of getting 2 life anyways, because we're just going to get it back with Eriette next turn. Realm Breaker again, and he gets, of course, another land. He gets the swamp this time. Let's see if he plays his commander. He does not. Leyline Immersion, that's fine, I guess. Gets to get a lot of mana, though. Omnath comes out here, so he does get his commander. We're going to play the swamp here. We get a Killian, so his Realm Breaker is actually doing us more good than harm. And I guess we can set up for the Overwhelming Splendor. So we're going to do the Cold Steel Heart here. We're going to choose the white this time. And I guess we'll play the Smothering Tithe as well because that'll just give us more advantage. And we're not going to do anything else because, well, he's just going to kill our Denitha if we swung in, or if we swung in with our Larissa, it would have done the same thing. Smothering Tithe, he does pay 2 for it. Omnath triggers, he gets a land. Foretells a card. Wonder what that is. Could poison the cup or something. Maybe not. Realm Breaker. Mill 3 gets a Command Tower. Wow. The best one he probably could have possibly got. That's amazing for him. But we do get a Compulsory Rest. Shieldred. Okay. Well, thank you for not making us discard a card, because here's the Overwhelming Splendor. That's for you, buddy. They're all 1/1s now, and they don't have any abilities. Wow. What a nice play that I just did. Denitha swinging in. Does Vigilance now. Here he goes. He blocks with the 1/1 token. There it goes. So he has something to kill it. I hope we get the Greater Oromancy so he can't target it, and it has Ward. That would be so fun. He probably has a removal of some sort, though, because he didn't really block with one of his creatures that he wanted to get back. He doesn't pay, so maybe he has a destroy all non-land permanents, potentially, because that would be really good for him right now. Grumgoli is just a 1/1 that doesn't do anything. It's just another body, so maybe he's a little worried now, because Overwhelming Splendor is quite overwhelming. The Prismatic Bridge is a problem, so we're going to... Commander here. We're going to also do Demonic Embrace on the Denitha. We do have to discard the card. Oh, so you have to do that. That's not super fun. We'll just still make it out flying with the Denitha. Anyways, with the Angelic Gift. We get to draw a card off the gift as well. Into a Sanguine Bond. Okay, that's not terrible. Light Pause is going to come out here because of the treasure. We can use it. Here that is. And then we're going to swing with the Denitha. There's going to be no blockers at all because they don't have any abilities. And he loses 3 life. Prismatic Bridge into nothing because it doesn't matter. Hopefully. Yep, Hinata doesn't do anything. It would have Flying and Trample, and it would be a pretty good card for him right now, but it doesn't do anything for him. And let's see. Is he just going to pass the turn? Yep, he does, because that's all he can do. We're going to... We could Sanguine Bond here. That would be really fun, because we're going to make him lose double the life now. And we'll also do the Rune of Mortality on the Denitha, so we're going to be able to draw another card, because that's what the runes do, all of them out of the Kaldheim. It's a Light Pause trigger as well. That's really nice. We're going to definitely use that. We get a 2 or 1. We could do all that glitters. What else do we have here? Candle Trap, Curse of Silence, Demotion, Ethereal Arms, Sentinel's Eyes. Actually, we'll do the Demonic Vigor, because that's pretty fun. It gets a little bigger as well. Demotion, we're going to use that. And we're going to use it on the Hinata. Why not? And is he going to do anything to that? Nope, he doesn't. Light Pause triggers again. We're going to definitely use that. We're probably going to do the Ethereal Armor here. And he scoops. That was a great game 1. Game 2, our hand isn't looking the best, so I think we're going to mulligan here. This is a fantastic hand. I'm really glad that we mulliganed. We have a couple of the Denithas. Core Spirit Dancer basically sells the deck, the plains, the swamp, everything. It's just so perfect. I mean, I don't think that could get much better than this. If we had an aura, that would be great instead of one of the Denithas or the Vanquish the Horde. But either way, it's still a fantastic hand. Going against Hamza, Guardian of Eretion. So it's going to be a lot of +1/+1 counters, and it's just going to cost things less. It's going to be really annoying because he's going to be able to get a lot of creatures out there if he has creatures that can get +1/+1 counters. He did mulligan the first hand, and he did it again, and it looks like another time as well. So he didn't have much luck like I did. Let's see what he ends up doing on his turn 1. Probably not a lot. Might be a Mana Dork, but nothing too much after that. He plays a Brushland. We're going to go with a Core Spirit Dancer here, so we'll be able to start getting some pure advantage. And we're not too worried about destruction because there isn't any really in green, and there's not a whole lot in white either. We get a Heliod's Pilgrim. I think we're going to do that now so we can get an aura in our hand. Let's see, which one should we get? I wonder, there's quite a few options we can get. That's a really fun one, but I don't think it will be super necessary. On Sarah's Wings sounds like a good one, actually. We're going to go with that. And we're not going to swing in because, I mean, it's not going to do any damage. And now it's his turn. So his turn 3 is probably going to look hopefully different than his first 2 turns. So let's see if he can play a creature or anything at all. He plays a Champion of Lambholt, so that's pretty good for him. And now our Core Spirit Dancer can't attack, but it won't be like that for much longer because we play the On Sarah's Wings, which is going to make it huge, and we also get to draw a card off of it. We get a plane, so that's not too bad. We have quite a bit of land, so it's not the greatest. And we'll also swing in with the Heliod's Pilgrim and the Core Spirit Dancer just to gain some life and to potentially get rid of the Lambholt if he decides to do that, which isn't the best play because, I mean, Lambholt in that deck is a really fantastic card. So let's see if he ends up blocking the Heliod's Pilgrim. I mean, it's not going to do much for him because it just kills his creature, and our creature still lives, so he doesn't do that. Now it's his turn. Let's see what he does. He plays a forest, that's perfectly fine, and let's see if he plays anything that can get him more +1/+1 counters. Okay, so that is a possibility for next turn if he has lands. Okay, we did draw Marauding Blight Priest, which isn't terrible. We're going to play the Plains, and I guess we'll play the commander here because, I mean, it's not the worst play, and we're going to try and get some more of that ping. We're going to just swing in with the core Spirit Dancer. We'll ping him for 1, gain another life. So we're at 32. Next turn, we could do the Blight Priest or something similar. We might do the Denitha Capation Paragon, not the Benalia's Hope, because it won't do much advantage for us since we don't have any auras in our hand or our graveyard. Fertilit's Favor. Okay, so it gets a little bigger, and he also gets a land, so that's not terrible, and he can boost it even more to fill out our retreat. So let's see if he gets another creature out there or more +1/+1 counters, because I mean that would make sense either way. Let's see what he ends up doing here. Will he put another +1/+1 counter? Let's find out. Nope, he creates a 2/2, and then he also gets another one. So now our core Spirit Dancer can't block, but we did draw the Rune of Mortality, so I think we're going to do that too. So we're going to do the Bright Climb Pathway as the swamp side of it. Go the Denitha to make all of our auras cost a little less. We'll play the Rune of Mortality on the core Spirit Dancer. We'll draw a card. Let's see if we get an aura. We do a Reprobation. That's perfect. So now, oh, we did get a Sun's Grace too. We're going to make that Lambhold nothing anymore. Gonna draw another card. We get a Cold Steel Heart, so that's not the greatest. And now our core Spirit Dancer is huge. We're gonna swing in with that, so we can't kill his own Champion of Lambhold really, but it can't attack anyways. So we're not really too worried right now. The only creature that can attack is his 2/2, and next turn he is dead essentially. In case he just scoops right now, he doesn't have much of an option unless he has a board wipe in his hand. Vorinclex. Okay, so that does save him for another turn, because it does have reach. However, it's not going to do much of a difference. He needs to get a board wipe next turn, potentially. He's probably going to boost his creatures when he plays a land, so we can give him all vigilance and a +1/+1 counter, just to boost the Vorinclex more, so he can potentially make it live longer. Let's see if he swings in at all with the 3/3 or anything like that. He does not, so that's really good for us. Okay, so now we're at a different angle. I think we're going to do the Marauding Blight Priest here. And we're also going to do the Cold Steel Heart. Why not? We're going to do it as the black for it, because I mean it doesn't really matter at this point. And we're also going to, well, we could swing in, but it might risk us losing it. So I think we'll just let him do what he needs to do. We'll just start pinging him a little more. So next turn he is dead unless he has a board wipe because of our ping that we have during the end step with the Eriette and the Marauding Blight Priest. Unless he can find a way to remove one of our auras that we have, he is almost definitely dead. So let's see what he ends up playing. He hasn't played his commander, which is reasonable. He needs to get rid of our commander or he is essentially dead, as I explained earlier, because, well, it's just ping. And it looks like he doesn't really have much of a response yet. I don't think he does. If he played the Beast Caller and didn't use it on a board wipe, there's not much he can do. He can create another 2/2, that's fine. The Champion Landhold doesn't trigger Emergent Sequence. He gets another land out there, that's fine. If he doesn't have any ways, I think he's just kind of stalling for time to hope that I concede, but I'm definitely not going to do that. There's the land, it gets another Felidar Retreat trigger. So he gets to have a little more +1/+1 counters, but it's even if he swings in with everything, it's still not enough. And let's see, plays his Hamza, that's fine. It's not going to do anything. I mean, he has a bunch of +1/+1 counters. So he plays the Celebrity Fencer, that's also fine. Gets a Quirion Beast Caller counter. And that's it. Okay, so we're going to just play the land. We're going to say good game back because, well, I mean, he did play kind of fair. And he didn't pull stuff out of anywhere. So we're going to just end the turn right there. He takes it, and we won Game 2. That was a really good Game 2. On to Game 3. Game 3. Our hand is also looking pretty good here, so we're going to keep it. We're going against Old Rustine. That's an interesting commander. It's a very good commander, but it's going to be a bunch of Golgari self-mill stuff. So we're going to play the Shine Shadow Snarl, and then we're not going to reveal anything because it doesn't matter if it enters tapped or not. Let's see. He plays a Command Tower, and then he goes into a Stitcher Supplier. That's a really good turn 1 for him. Doesn't get a whole lot, but there's some stuff in there. We're going to do the Starfield Mystic because that card's amazing and it's really good for us. And now all of our enchantments that we play cost a little less. And let's see what he ends up playing on his turn 2 because he seems to have quite a bit. Maze Mine Tome. Okay, so we can draw. He can also scry. That's not too bad. We're going to do our Eriette here, and let's see what he does in response. Probably nothing. He might do the Maze Mind Tome, but it's not going to be anything too much. I think I'm going to swing in here. I'm going to force the Stitcher Supplier to die, which he probably will just kill it, so we can get more cards being milled. So he does that. Mill 3, that's fine. And there is a card that needed to die, because Angel of Suffering in this deck is absolutely insane. So it's his turn now. It's his turn 3. Plays a Fabled Passage, so he doesn't have enough land to play his commander yet. He can sack the Passage to get another land, but it will enter tapped since he doesn't have 4. And he does that. He's probably going to get a Forest, I would assume, because, I mean, Forests in this deck are pretty good. Unless he has one and he's just wasting it, which would be really strange. So there's the Forest. I called it. And Grim Flare. Okay, so that's a 4/4 with Trample. So that's kind of scary, but it's nothing too much with a cooped up in our hand. So now it can't attack or block. And I guess we'll go to combat. We'll swing in with the 2/2 and the 2/4 since none of his stuff can attack or block. And we could exile the Grim Flare, but I'd like to see what it does. Actually, since we don't have anything else we can do, we'll just exile it right here. Grim Flare is going to be exiled. And he does a Maze Mind Tome. That's perfectly fine. So that's going to be gone. Grim Flare is going away. Cooped up goes to our graveyard. Eriette. I could have done that actually during the end step, but it doesn't matter. It's the Grim Flare being gone is good. Old Rusty. Okay, so we're going to exile his commander next turn because that's great for us. Cursebound Witch. Okay. What does this do? Okay, so when it dies, you get a draft. Okay, so we could get rid of 2 of his creatures and potentially do stuff with the meat hook, but I think we'll save it for another turn. Ossification on the Old Rusting would be a pretty good play, so I think we're going to do that. We're going to target the Swamp, and now we're going to target the Old Rusting, and it's just going to stay there because even if the Old Rusting leaves, the Ossification still is there. He's probably going to put it back in his command zone, but the Ossification gets to stay. Actually, he kept it there. So that means he does have enchantment removal, which we're forcing him to use, which is nice. So I think we're going to just let him do his turn. Eriette triggers here. He takes a damage. So that's fine. Maze Mind Tome, he gets to scry 1. Let's see if he does anything with that. Nope, he doesn't. And now it's his turn. What is he going to do? He's probably going to destroy one of our enchantments. Okay, so we have to sack a creature. I'm going to sack the commander here because, I mean, we can get it back. And then he gets a Pristine Talisman. We're going to put the commander back in the command zone. And he just gains a life. So he didn't play any enchantment removal. That's interesting and a little scary. I guess we'll go with Archon of Sun's Grace so we can start getting our enchantments going. And we'll swing in with the Starfield Mystic. He's probably going to block because he'll get Cursebound Witch triggers and he just wants it in the graveyard. I mean, he really wants his entire deck to be in the graveyard. But he doesn't have his commander to help that engine start to go. So let's see, he drafted a card from the Witch's spellbook, and Maze Mind Tome triggers. He gets to gain 4 life, goes back to his starting life total, and he plays a Castle Lochthwain. Okay, let's see if he does anything else. I'm not sure if he'll be able to. I mean, he could kill our Archon. He's looking at it, which would be a good play, and he's also playing black, so he probably has a lot of kill in here. Next turn, we're gonna hope for a land. Okay, so there's the enchantment. Okay, so now he gets rid of a lot of stuff. Now we only have 3 land, which isn't ideal. We're going to play the Cold Steel Heart here. We're going to go with a white because we need it for the flowering of the white tree, and most of our deck has a lot of white in it, or double white, so that'll just be nice since he got rid of our plains. And I guess we'll swing in for 4. It's not like he's going to be able to do anything against it anyways, unless he wants his commander back in his hand. Old Rusting triggers, gets the Cavalier of Night in the graveyard, which is pretty good for us. And there goes our Starfield Mystic. So we get a land off of it, which isn't terrible. I guess here we'll go with the Swamp. Why not? And now we're at a bit of a predicament. I mean, we do have 5 mana, so we can play the Denitha and get one of the auras back, but it's not looking super great for us. He gets to exile a card, so he exiles the Archon, so that's pretty good. Old Rusting attacks. Okay, so now we're going to play the land. We'll play the Denitha. Actually, that was not the greatest of plays. We're not going to... Actually, we can play the Ossification, but it won't work because it has to enchant land, so it doesn't matter. Old Rusting, he gets to mill 1, create a 1/1. That's fine. We just wanted the lifelink out there so we could potentially not lose the game. Palantir of Ornthak, that's a fantastic card. And Curse of Leeches. Ouch. That's not really fun. Okay, so he gets a couple of cards. And I'm going to choose to lose life. Okay, so that wasn't super great. Heliod's Punishment. Perfect timing. But we can also board wipe him. I think we're going to do the board wipe for 3. Going to use that right away. Get rid of most of his board. Except his commander. And now we're going to swing in with the Denitha. Let's see if he blocks it. He does not. Get a gain of life. Old Rusting triggers. Gets to get another blood token. And there's Shieldred. Great. So our Denitha's dead. And he lose a life. We lose another life since he's swung in. Palantir of Ornthak. We have to make him draw because I don't really want to lose much more. Okay, so you're going to draw that card, whatever one you put on the top, which is a little scary. We gain 1, or he gains 1, we lose 1. Okay, we're going to Heliod's Punishment the Shieldred. We have to, because that card's very annoying and very scary. And I guess we'll do the Eriette too. And now we wait. Now it's going to take a little bit to reset. He's going to take some life, and we'll also be able to gain some life. He discards a Mind Stone, so he didn't get anything super good. Old Rusting triggers, mills a land, gets a treasure. Okay, that's fine. Breach of the Multiverse. That's not fun. Massacre Worm, is that what's coming out? I mean, he has quite a bit in here. Let's see what he got. Quite a lot. And what did he get from ours? Stroke of Midnight, that's fine. Core Spirit Dancer, that's not super great for us. So not a whole lot on our side. There's a lot more on his. So let's see what he did end up getting. What is he going to choose? Is he going to choose... Okay, so he chooses the Denitha and the Cavalier of Night. That's fine. So he gets to pop our commander. And then... I'm going to put it back in our command zone. And I don't think he has any auras or equipments in his graveyard. Nope, he doesn't. Old Rusting's going to come in and swing. Palantir of Ornthak's going to trigger. Okay. And he put both of them on the top. So I'm going to choose to where he can draw the card. Curse of Leeches. Alright. Now we could play our commander again. And I think that's the best move. Because we want to live a little longer. And he's going to be able to gain a bunch of life. No triggers from Eriette. That's fine. Old Rusting triggers. Gets another 1/1. This is getting annoying. Liliana's going to come out here. That's not great. And he can get another creature from his graveyard. I mean, he has so much. Massacre Worm? Nope, Shieldred. So we have to sack our commander again. And this is going to hurt a lot. The Meat Hook Massacre is going to trigger here. And we are not dead yet. We're at 6. So let's hope for board wipe. And we're going to have to make him draw a card because I don't want to risk losing. Actually, let's do it. Why not? Okay, so we lost 4. That's whatever. And Saram. Okay, so we're going to play the Saram here. And then we're also going to play the Ashiok's Reaper. And then that's still game. So I'm going to play the Flowering of the White Tree. Might as well. And then we're just going to let him do what he wants to do. Because we are going to be almost definitely dead. Actually, we are definitely dead. So we're going to block the 4/4. The 4/5, we're going to say good game because it was a pretty fun game, and that's game for us. We did lose that game, but it was really close. So, yep, that's it. Going on to game 4. Game 4, our hand isn't looking terrible, but it's not the best, so I guess we'll keep it. Going against Atraxa. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to play the Plains here. We're going to pass the turn back to him. Let's hope that he doesn't have any 1-drop mana dorks that can get him more stuff, because that will be very annoying. Okay, let's see what he plays turn 1. If it's a green, that might be a problem. Or if it can get him green. So let's see what he ends up playing. If he has any lands, which would be weird if he didn't. Our hand isn't looking too bad. So there's our breeding pool, but he made it enter tapped. So we're safe a little longer. We're going to play the swamp here. We're going to play the Cold Steel Heart as well into the black. And let's see what he ends up playing on turn 2, because there's always, usually, but most of the time always, a turn 2 play in the Atraxa deck. So let's see what he ends up playing. Okay, Drowned Catacomb. What is he going to play turn 2? Mana Dork potentially. Okay, Ozolith, that's fine. Okay, so we did get the Wither Crown, which is really nice for us. And we're going to play the Eriette here, and then we're going to pass the turn back. And now we're just going to wait and see what he does. So we have the Heliot's Punishment, the Hold for Ransom, and the Wither Crown, which is not bad going against a deck that revolves around attacking and getting creatures and proliferation. Brushland. Okay. And is that it? Is that all he's going to do? He's just going to play the land and he's just going to pass? Because that'll be interesting. I mean, if he gets basically any land, he can play his commander next turn. Will he do it though? What will he play? Skrelv. That's fine. That's annoying, but it's fine. Okay, so Ozolith, he puts counters on it. That's okay. So we're going to, I think we could make it to where he can't attack with Skrelv, but it won't do much. Yeah, I'm going to make it to where he'll can't attack or block with Skrelv. And then we're just going to swing in with the Eriette. So he loses 2 more, goes down to 22, and then we're going to pass a turn. He loses a life, we gain a life because of Eriette. And now let's see what he ends up doing. Because he could do a lot of things from this point. Is he just going to play his commander? Because, I mean, Atraxa coming out there, that's pretty reasonable. But it all depends on what he decides to do. Because Atraxa has a lot of variations, and usually they stick with one kind of build and then they go off of it. Arwen, Mortal Queen. And if you haven't checked out my Atraxa video, you should definitely do that. Both of them, because they're both very good. We're going to go with the Bright Climb Pathway here, and we have a Light Pause. So I think we go with the Light Pause. And will he do anything with the Skrelv? That's the question. Okay, we're going to play the Wither Crown, attach it. Yeah, we're going to attach it to the Arwen. And let's see if he does Skrelv's ability. He probably will. Will he do it? Will he Skrelv? Yep, he does. So he loses 2, gives it pro black, so that's fine. So that goes away. But we could Heliot's Punishment the Skrelv, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. And now he can't do anything else. I mean, he could Arwen, but it's not going to do anything to help him, even if he does remove the indestructible counter. And now it's just kind of stuck. Now we need to hope for an aura next turn to get rid of the Atraxa, but we also do have the Light Pause trigger, so we can boost it up a little bit. We're going to give it something with flying, potentially, so like the Angel's Gift that we have, so we can block the Atraxa if nothing avails us. So we're going to do the Angelic Gift. We're going to be able to draw a card when it enters the battlefield. Let's see if we get a aura. Nope, we don't. We get a Veto, but we do have the Veto and the Sanguine Bond. We're not going to swing in because it won't do anything, but he will lose 3 life. So next turn, we're definitely vetoing. So he's going to lose a lot more life than he should, and he won't be able to gain it back. But let's see what he ends up doing on his turn now. So he plays a Reliquary Tower. Let's see if he plays his commander. He probably will, just to start getting us down. But he doesn't have any protection from anything with Skrelv anymore, since it can't do it. The only thing he can do is tap to remove a counter. And he has 4 of those on him. So let's see if he Skrelfs here. He probably will. Or, yeah, he'll probably will do it this turn. Because it can block or attack either way. But it's going to be interesting. So he's thinking, yep, that's pretty much set already. So he has a lot of options, apparently. But it will be sort of... Okay, so he plays his commander. That's fine. Get that out of the way. So Trax is out here. Skrelv removes it. Okay. Next turn is going to be a little bit of a threat. Let's hope for a attack or block something to where we don't have to worry about it. And he boosts everything. Okay, we get a land. We don't have enough to play both. We're going to play the veto here because it's a creature. And it just costs less. We're not going to swing with the light paws, obviously. So he's going to lose 3. We're going to gain 3. He's going to lose 3 more. So he's going to lose 6 total. So next turn, we could win. If he doesn't destroy our veto or our commander. If he destroys either or, we're going to be set back a little bit. Okay, so we are wins. It's going to be huge now. That's actually really scary. Our win in there is boosted. Okay, so Atraxa, it's huge. It's a 6/6, indestructible, death touch, lifelink, everything. Ozolith, so he makes it even bigger. So it's an 8/8 now. So now he can live a little bit longer. We're going to have to block here with the light paws. Because we don't want to take much more. Light paws dies, that's fine. And then he gets to proliferate again. That's really scary. Okay. Oh, but he proliferated the Heliod's punishment too. That's perfect for us. Let's see if he does it again. Yep, he does. So he doesn't care about the Skrelv. We're going to play that emotion on the Atraxas to where it can't attack with our commander being out here. And then we're going to play the Sanguine Bond. Let's hope that he doesn't have a counter spell for it. Because if he does... Okay, so he does not. Sanguine Bond's going to come out here. Let's see if he does anything to that. Does not. Okay, so we're going to be able to live a little bit longer. And he scoops, surprisingly. Okay, that was a really fun game 4. On to game 5. Game 5, our hand is looking really well, so we're going to keep it here. We're going against Kellen the Fey-Blooded. Okay. Lorehold Campus comes out there. We're going to play the Shine Shadow Snarl. We're going to not reveal anything because we don't have any turn 1 plays. Pass back to him. Let's see what else he's going to do. Is he going to do the Adventure this turn? Let's see if he does it. Does he do the Adventure to seek a card? Yep, he does. Gets an Aura Equipment card, puts into his hand. That'd be kind of nice for this deck, but we don't have red, sadly. Gets a Swiftfoot Boots. That's nice. Let's see if he does anything else. He does not. Perfect. We're going to play the Light Paws, and we're going to pass back to him. Drew All That Glitters, which is a fantastic card with Light Paws, because Light Paws can get a lot more, and it can get quite big. Let's see if he plays his commander this turn. Wouldn't surprise me if he didn't, or if he did Swiftfoot Boots and something else. There's the boots. Nothing else, that's fine. We're going to do the planes here. We're going to go into the All That Glitters. Going to grab something else from our deck with Light Paws ability. Going to use it. Let's see what we can do. Angelic Gift is not bad. We can also make it have Death Touch. Or what else can we do with it? Actually, we'll do Kai's Ghost Form, so in case he gets rid of it, we can still have it. Raffine's Guidance. Gonna do it again. Yep, we're gonna use it. We're going to grab the... We're gonna grab the Sentinel's Eyes here. Make an 8/8, swinging for 8 on turn 3. That's pretty fantastic, and let's see what he does on his turn. Be really funny if he conceded. Let's see. Probably won't. He has quite a bit of plays, especially in this kind of deck. Does a Kellen. Let's see if he Swiftfoot Boots it. Yep, he does. Makes it hexproof. Will he swing in? Probably not. Because, I mean, Light Paws is a bit of an issue. And we drew the Ethereal Armor. We're going to do that. We're going to take action. We're going to grab a... Oh, he concedes. That was a really, really fun and quick Game 5.